Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors and salutations to all you Akim out there that's laboring in the truth and sincerity without wavering. And this is another GMS en route, and we're gonna call this worse than a lockdown, or the next lockdown is gonna be worse, meaning worse than what happened, previous months with the first quarantine from the so-called pandemic of COVID. The Spirit had me do the video yesterday because they're putting out these different fines if you don't wear your mask, and amongst other things that they're doing, because like I said in other previous videos, apostles, other brothers said this thing is real. They had an agenda and they're acting on it. When you hear about the New World Order and everything like that, that thing was real, man. That thing was real, as real as it could get. It don't get no realer until you see soldiers and troops, coming to your house, pulling you out of your house, because they declared the American citizens as enemy combatants. That's why you see all of this, how would you say, it's easy for them to just come and just start shooting people. Here it is, you had one cop ordered, and these are just things that's just in the news daily. These reports and stuff come in about what they're doing. You had a guy, a cop ordered the dog to bite a nigga. Basically, they shooting niggas, they sicking dogs on niggas. But now there's another report which I gotta get. Wait, bear with me for a second. Let me pull that one up first. Then I'll come back to this other report. But basically, what they're planning on is using different type of weapons and everything that we spoke about various times. The different weapons that they have, and they really want to use these weapons against basically not primarily Jake, right? That's why you see Jake been targeted. There's nothing new. When they sit there and talk about the highest death mortality in the United States is from so-called minorities, so-called Negroes, so-called Puerto Ricans, Native American Indians. No shit, because why? We always been the target. We've been the target from, as far back as once this devil came here, he had his eyes set on what? The targeting the children of Israel. And he knows who we are. He knows that we're the real children of the Most High, the real Israelites. He knows that. And basically, he's targeted us from back then with biological and chemical warfare and other guerrilla warfare tactics he used against us, man. And that's why the scriptures tell you that, man. And in Psalms, matter of fact, let me pull that up real quick. Just bear with me. I'm just speaking. I'm trying to read the articles and quote the scriptures as I can. I wanted to get, push this out there. I don't know if I have a chance to go into it later. I will. But this I'm gonna go to Psalms. This is a scripture we always bring out, and it's the truth, man. And it never changes. And the scriptures tell you, never trust thy enemy. And we've been telling brothers that for the longest, for years. We always been telling you, don't trust the system, don't trust it. Hell, Public Enemy had a song called "Can't Trust It," right? About trusting this government and the army, the so-called white man. But what they do, they end up trusting the government, the so-called white man. Public Enemy, come to find out, they really wasn't as radical as they had us thinking they were, man. You see? And really, at the end of the day, you're going to find out it's really only one group of men. When you go into the book of, Romans, is it the 9th chapter where the Lord said he had 7,000 men? Hold on, let me pull that up real quick. Just bear with me. I know I'm quoting a lot of stuff, but we'll get back to it through the Spirit. bear with me, 'cause I want to get the quote right. Right, Romans 11. Right, it says Romans 11, and I'll start at 1. It says, I say then, after Mosiah cast away his people. Who are the Mosiah's people? Through the midst of all this stuff happening, the Lord's people is the ones that's going to be affected the most. Because why? Again, we're that target. You see? We're that target that Esau, you know, where the scriptures speak about for that violence against thy brother Jacob. When you read in the book of Obadiah, all right? Which you have all these people claim that, you know, try to quote scriptures, but they won't quote nothing from the book of Obadiah. And still 2020, you still got a lot of people, you say the book of Obadiah, they be like, huh? What? You know, these same people that's supposed to be these big time, you know, Bible thumpers, and, you know, they into the scriptures. You know, they don't know about Obadiah, which is, I believe, to be the smallest book next to, between that and Jude, I guess. Right? If I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, right, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off. So that's why the Lord is going to cut off these devils. You wonder why? Well, first of all, the Most High said he was going to do it. They were the vessel of wrath created for destruction. So you can't go against that. You know, you try to go against that, you trying to go against the Heavenly Father's plans. All right? So now, it says, the Most High forbid, for I also am an Israelite. And that says a lot right there. And this is the Apostle Paul. All right? So the Apostle Paul, he was an Israelite. A lot of people think that, but he had Roman citizenship. You know, he was born in Tarshish. All right? And he spoke Greek and he spoke Latin. You see, so that's why he was dealing with showing you that there were Israelites that spoke other languages. That's why they said about Paul, art thou that Egyptian that can speak Greek? Because why? That shows you, for him to call him an Egyptian. And at that time, that was they still knew that the Egyptians was dark skinned, you know, so they referred them to a dark skinned people, the Egyptians. But everybody know today the so-called Egyptians are so-called dark skinned people. They said to Paul, art thou that Egyptian which can speak Greek? They was fucked up. At first they thought he was just an Egyptian. Then they didn't know that he could speak Greek, but he was an Israelite. All right, and he spoke those different languages, because you had Israelites that grew up in the Greek customs throughout Asia Minor, as well, that were Romanized as well. They were Hellenized and Romanized. All right, but that's going into the Israelite foreigners that are waking up, coming back into the fold, which we all technically are Israelite foreigners, man, pursuant to 1 Corinthians 12 and 1. It says, the Most High forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. So the Apostle Paul broke it down. He said, I'm one of those Israelites, man. And then he said, look, my lineage go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob via Benjamin. He was a Benjaminite. Verse 2, the Most High hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew. And that still stands to this day. Even to this day, with all this hell breaking loose, and you know, of course, we're under the attack, like I was speaking. We've been targeted. That still stands. The Most High still didn't cast us away. He said he's going to have a remnant, an elect. You see? And we read Isaiah the 14th chapter, where the Lord said, I would choose Israel and yet have mercy on Jacob. So that's not speaking about the other nations. The Lord is only coming back for his elect group of Israelites, the elect. Okay? It says, wote ye not what the scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, and that's another prophet speaking. The prophets always cursed out or spoke against the other Israelites, because why? They were wicked. You had what we call today the 2/3, pursuant to Zechariah, right? What is it? The 13th chapter. You had the 2/3. You still got the 2/3. He said, Lord, they have killed thy prophets. And was not Israel known for killing their own prophets? Just like today, they kill us. We sit up here to tell them the word of the Most High. We don't candy code it or nothing, and they got a problem with it. That's why a lot of people, you know, they talk shit, they do videos, they slander us and everything else. It says, they killed thy prophets and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. So Elijah thought he was the last prophet alive. But what answered the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Baal is another name for the devil. All right, so the Lord saying he got 7,000, which 7 in the Bible, when you read in the Bible, 7 represents completion. So the Lord said he got 7,000 men that are reserved, okay, who have not bowed down to this wicked ass system, this devil. All right, it said, even so then at this present time, and even still at this present time, 2020, all right, the year of prophecy, it said also there is a remnant, see, a remnant, same as an elect, according to the election of grace. So the Lord still got that elect group. You know, like I said, there's only a few elect men of Israel who are really going to stand up for the truth, man. All right, who are really going to speak the words as the Lord commanded us to speak them and warn the people. You can't say you weren't warned. You know, if this caught you as a surprise, that was because you were sleeping. And at this point, you're willfully sinning and you willfully sleeping, you know? Because why? We've been out there through the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, pushing this truth, trying to wake you up for years, man. Years about this system and they're different, the inner workings, the New World Order, and how they, you know, the end game, what they want to do, what their plans are. For the longest, we've been bringing these things out, man. So for you to not know what's going on, then this means that you wasn't paying attention, man. All right. Now this was on what you call it, the Army National Guard, right? This is a report that came out from back when the protests first started. This report, this is a National Guard that was actually sent to the protests, right? So he knows. It says Army, it's the headline. This is from CNN, and it's in a few other places. I seen this the other day as well. It says Army National Guard Major told Congress feds requested heat ray and stockpiled ammunition before clearing the DC protests. So they had all these different weaponry, man. Heat guns, man. All right? And it says federal officials looked at showing you what they have planned. So, you know, you got a lot of Jake and everything thinking that, you know, yeah, we're going to rally. You got all these self-made activists. A lot of them are agent provocateurs that are set up just like the Jam Master Jay, you know, and the rest of and there's other guys. You're going to keep constantly having new type of so-called activists, you know, brothers with arms or whatever you want to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have all kind of different activists out there because why? You got the government, they pay people, man, just like the riots or the looters and everything. A lot of them is, they're bringing out a lot of them like Antifa, where Antifa goes to the hood, find, you know, Jake is already gone out of their mind. They don't give a damn. These niggas walking around here high out of their mind on lean or whatever. So of course it's a come up for them. If Esau come with a bag and say, look, I'm gonna pay you, give you some money to go create havoc downtown in this area, blah, blah, at the protest. All right, and then when you come back, I'm gonna give you some more money, you know, what you think gonna happen? So this whole, really the protests and everything are really orchestrated, man, the riots, everything is all staged, okay? It's all staged, and we've been saying this for a minute now, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So now it says, federal officials looked into getting a heat ray that makes targets skin, that makes the skin feel like it's burning wherever they target it at, and mass thousands of rounds of ammunition in preparation for clearing a peaceful protest. So these are the things that what they plan on doing, man. You see, these are some of the things that they plan on doing, man. And we're just living in that time, man. You know, we're just living in that time.
Challenge in golf.
It's like a commercial. It says well, hold on, I'm gonna play the clip a little.
Okay.
On June 1st, President Donald Trump decided to address the nation after a week of protests against police brutality and racial inequality. That evening, CNN cameras showed a group protesting peacefully across the street from the White House. Minutes before Trump's speech, Attorney General William Barr ordered authorities to clear the crowd that had gathered near Lafayette Park. If met with resistance, police were told to use crowd control measures.
Right now,
police told the crowd to disperse, but the
crowd control measures that they're speaking about are what? These different weapons. All right, this weaponry that they're talking about. And remember, now this is William Barr saying this, and I got something else that he's saying. All right, see, these are insiders, people that are part of this system, that are, you know, the right-hand man, the Trump and all these, you know, that are up there, and they hear all these different orders. So they said, look, do whatever you got to do to clear the crowd. And this is what they were going to do. But I guess they didn't need to use these weapons yet, but this just shows you the intent on what they plan on using.
Protesters didn't move. They didn't fight back either. At 6:35 p.m., police charged the crowd. They fired flash grenades, rubber bullets, and tear gas.
Yeah, so pretty much that's what was happening down there at that DC protest. But now with the National Guard guy that was down there, what he said is they were going to do even worse to them. You understand? So showing you what's in the minds, and the scriptures tell you that the spirit that is in them is not right. And the Lord tell you about how they dig pits. You know, they set traps. They lay in wait, you know, and hunt down innocent souls, man. All right, it tell you about that in the book of Lamentations. So, you know, what's happening is basically their agenda is an onslaught. It's an onslaught. That's what's coming. So that's why they stage these these protests, these different protests that you have going on, these different protests, these different riots, these different police shootings. They're using the crisis actors in some of these cases. They're using real situations and using them to their, you know, to benefit their policies that they're coming out with all these new austerities and more draconian legislation that we keep telling you that it's not going to end nice. It's not going to end nice, man.
At 6:44, while police continue.
All right, it's not going to end nice because that basically they on some shit because, you know, it's in their power. Revelations 12:12 though tells you that the devil know that he have but a short time, so he's come down with great wrath. So that's why they doing that. Their time is just about up, man. You got chariot sighting the other day, you know, and then a lot of times you see a lot of different so-called UFO footage to where, you know, maybe it might seem questionable or they'll try to debunk it. Oh, that was a projection, you know, Project Bluebeam. Oh, that was a droid. That was a drone, part of me. You know, people come up with different ways. That was they did do editing and splicing, because yeah, you could do, you know, some shit with that. But now it's to the point where these chariot sightings are being caught with raw footage. All right, and there's no mistaking of what you're seeing. You know that you're seeing one of those chariots, the holy angels, man. So that's the time, and that's why Esau is scrambling like a motherfucker, man, because he know that Yahweh Shai is coming back. You see, you got people that act like the Lord's not gonna come back, man. You got these simple niggas talking about, oh, y'all waiting for a black man to crack the sky, and I'm like, okay, well, shit, what's wrong with that? What the fuck is wrong? Shit, you believed in Wakanda. Wakanda made you niggas feel good, right? Huh? When you had, you know, whatever his name is, played Black Panther, that made niggas feel good, right? The so-called black superhero. to where Esau, had to do some bullshit, and maybe Esau, who knows, maybe Esau did kill the nigga, man. And the nigga was too big, But the other thing, I know one thing, that the brother, I didn't watch all the video, but the brother, one of the elder brothers, the top brothers in Chicago, he knew the nigga, and he told him he was the truth, and told him he was an Israelite and everything, and taught the truth to him, and told him the name of the Most High, and the brother said he rejected it. He didn't want to deal with it. So guess what? Now he's regretting it, man. Now he's regretting it, and now he knows the truth now, but he's regretting what he did, his role he played on this earth, misleading people into this so-called African mythology that has nothing to do with us, man. That's why Deontay Wilder got knocked out, because he really started believing in Wakanda too, But now if we speak about the Lord, which will tell you in the scriptures in the Bible, so it's not like it's founded on nothing. It's founded on the most credible source, which is the Holy Bible. But y'all want to look at us like we bugging out, like that's so far-fetched or that can't happen. And then meanwhile, you got chariot sightings or so-called UFOs, or what is the other one, UARs, and whatever different terms that they call them, birdies or whatever they call them. You got them popping up left and right all over the place. But we're crazy for speaking on these things. See, and that's why this is the Most High's program, and it don't really care what Esau say at the end of the day, because the Lord's word doesn't go out void. The Lord's word always accomplishes what it's supposed to accomplish. So now that's what they did in DC, right? Now let me see if I can pull up the other article real quick. Now this is the same guy, William Barr, right? It says a COVID-19 lockdown would be greatest intrusion on civil liberties since slavery. You see? Since slavery. And we know who caught the brunt end of the deal going back into American slavery. It was what? The same people that are being affected in one way, shape, or form or another by this COVID-19 situation. Who do you think those fines are really going to increase on or affect? Who do you think they're really pushing the vaccines on? Huh? Who do they make go back to the schools first? They said, let the cracker kids stay at home. Let the Edomite kids stay at home. But y'all send y'all kids out there. And then the certain schools got to shut down because the COVID levels spiked or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So this is part of the planned genocide that we constantly speak about. All right? It says U.S. Attorney General William Barr on Wednesday said a nationwide coronavirus lockdown, nationwide meaning shutting the whole nation down again, shutting the government down. And you remember, and look, things ain't been the same since all the lockdown. What it started back in March, if I'm not mistaken, February, March. Since then, a lot of these companies still haven't recovered. Man, look at how many businesses went under, man. Now, yeah, you got certain places that are prospering. You got the price of silver and gold going out of the fucking roof and everything, which, hey, the brothers do have, so be it. But don't trust in that, because the scriptures tell you, riches profiteth not in the day of wrath. As it is written, the just shall live by faith. It's going to come down to our faith, brothers. At the end of the day, our faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Now, the Lord is going to make a way. The Lord might have certain brothers that have, might have a farm for all we know. Lord might connect brothers with a brother with a farm, or, brother that got property where brothers could just, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We'll see in that time. You understand? We'll see what happens in that time. But cause like I'm not sure on all of it, but heard you got some Israelites that, which that's not the move, because we got to get the hell up out of here. Micah 2:10. But I ain't, if they want to do that, that's their business. You understand? But you're gonna be in the midst of Babylon one way or the other, because the Lord said He's gonna deliver us in the with eagle's wing, just like during the time of Egypt. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not that you can escape the how would you say, you can't escape the hell that we're allotted to go through. But if they want to do that, that's their business, man. Let them do what they got to do. At the end of the day, we got to continue to make sure we staying ready for Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because he's back, he's about to be back here, man. You see? But anyway, I'm gonna end it there. I mean, maybe I'll touch on this again, Lord willing it. You know, everything is all in the spirit, man. You know, it's all in the spirit. You know, we still in Babylon, we still gotta grind and do what we gotta do, but it's almost over. It's not much left, you know. So hopefully, I hope you brothers will edify, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. As always, all glory and honor go to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I say shalom to you, sincere Akim. Shalom.